Well, for his thoughts on all that has now happened in Winnipeg, we're reaching out to Gord Johns, Member of Parliament for Courtenay, Alberni in British Columbia. Gord, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, and hello to everybody across the country, and of course those at home on Vancouver Island.
Hey, absolutely. Beautiful Vancouver Island. Listen, I want to start with your reaction to Avi Lewis's victory here. You obviously threw your support behind Heather McPherson. Are you disappointed?
Oh, not at all. I think like any leadership contest, you know, we get behind who we want to see as our leader, but right after the decision's made, we get behind that leader, and that's what New Democrats do. It's always about solidarity, and I'm just so excited about the convention, the enthusiasm. We've had more delegates here than we've seen since the days of Jack Layton, and we've had more youth than I can ever recall at a convention. So the enthusiasm's huge. We had more people run for elected positions within our own party than I could ever remember. You know, elections that were supposed to take an hour that took hours because of the amount of people that were running for elections. So the excitement is huge. The momentum is huge, and the momentum is huge because people are struggling, and they know that the Conservatives and Liberals, the Liberals who've shifted to the right, are not responding to their needs, which is about cost of living. People are struggling to make ends meet, and they need a party, a new Democratic Party that's strong. Okay. And right now we can see that momentum.
Okay, the party momentum, but what about Avi Lewis? What do you, as a member of the NDP caucus, unofficially in the House of Commons, but as a Democrat in Ottawa, what do you hope Avi Lewis will bring to your party and to the remaining members of the NDP in Ottawa?
Well, I mean, there's 6 of us right now holding the fort, if you want to call it that. And, you know, what we hope he'll bring is what he's been doing through his campaign. He's raised more money than we've ever seen in a leadership campaign, more donors than we've ever seen in a leadership campaign. There are thousands and thousands of people that are, you know, connecting to Avi's message. And what we're hoping is that Avi will bring that momentum. I'm sure he will. To support us in Ottawa and our efforts there, and get us more seats, which is what we need to do to get to government someday.
Well, at this point, Mr. Lewis does not have a seat in Parliament. He has tried twice before, failed twice. I'm wondering whether or not anyone is willing to vacate a seat for Mr. Lewis to get him in the House of Commons. And, you know, forgive me, will you be willing to vacate your seat for him?
I have not been asked to do that. I don't think that's going to be something I'm going to be asked to do. I'm sure in time that when a seat comes up or an opportunity comes up, and if it's the right opportunity, you know, Avi will make that decision. But I'll leave that for him to make those decisions. But we know that in the past, Jagmeet Singh or Jack Layton, neither of them had seats when they won their leadership. And we've seen it in other parties as well, you know, where they didn't have a seat in the House of Commons, and they won the leadership of their parties. So it's something that will happen in time, and it'll get worked out. But I am confident in Avi with his experience that he'll get elected. And when you talk about people not running and getting elected, I think of Randall Garrison. He ran multiple times and then he won, and when he won, he kept on winning. So, you know, I'm confident that Avi will find an opportunity to win a seat and be in the House of Commons when the time's right.
You talk about challenges, and immediately after Avi Lewis won, Naheed Nenshi, the leader of the Alberta NDP, did turn to social media, distance himself from the federal party, and obviously as an Albertan New Democrat, he is far more sympathetic to pipelines and oil than Avi Lewis is. How much of a problem is this going to be that right out of the gate, a key provincial leader is saying no to the federal pick for leader of the NDP?
Well, I think it comes back to what you talked about, the challenges for a new leader. And always the challenge for the new leader is to bring people together, to build solidarity, to make sure you're listening to the needs of different parts of the country. So I think that's going to be one of Avi's first tasks, is to get out across the country, to meet with different leaders, different communities, to meet with Indigenous leaders, to understand the needs, the priorities of those communities as he develops policy, as he develops priorities. And certainly I look forward to bringing Avi to my region, for example, so that he can meet with the people in my community and better understand rural Vancouver Island. So I think that those are things that it's not the first time, again, a leader from any party's been elected. and there's been some regional differences, and I think that's going to be some of the work and tasks that the new leader is going to have to do to work on.
And obviously you are a member of his team. I will be honest with you, I've spoken to New Democrats on the Hill, both front room, back room, who have expressed concern that the Avi Lewis campaign up until the Winnipeg convention has not really done any outreach, or not enough outreach for advice. I'm wondering what you would say to that, and what your impressions of Avi Lewis's ability to be open to others beyond his immediate circle of advisors.
Well, I think anytime you're in a leadership contest, your number one goal is to secure enough votes to win your leadership and secure that. And then your next goal is to reach out to Canadians. And every region of the country is critical. And Avi has made that clear, that he is going to travel this country and understand the needs from people from coast to coast to coast. And as he does that, he's going to understand some of the barriers, some of the challenges and opportunities. But right now, what he does know, and what he's made very clear, and what he heard on the campaign, was that people are struggling to make ends meet while big corporations are posting record profits. And as New Democrats, we want people to win. We want small, medium, even big size businesses to win, but it can't be at the expense and on the backs of everyday Canadians. And right now we see big oil, big banks, big grocery, big telecommunication companies all posting record profits, while people are struggling to make payment for their groceries, or they're getting hit at the pump, or just to get their basic needs, whether it be housing or telecommunications. And it doesn't have to be this way. So I think Avi's message has resonated with people that got behind him. He won with a very clear mandate that he is the leader. And I think the things that he's going to propose and bring forward are going to help all Canadians, including people in Alberta. And I hope that Mr. Nenshi and Mr. Lewis can get together and find a pathway to work together on the things that we all share. And that is trying to lift up people. And I know that's something that Naheed Nenshi cares about. He cares about the people in his community and in his province, and he wants to make their lives better. So I think that they have some common ground, and hopefully they can find that in the days and months to come.
Gord Johns, I appreciate the time. Thank you for this.
Oh, thanks for having me. And again, I'm in a room full of people that are super excited, social progressives, and just honored to be, here at this convention with a bunch of fantastic people that want to make Canada stronger and better.
Okay, thank you for that. Gord Johns in Winnipeg.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, my friend. Enjoy the rest of the meeting, the gathering.